We start in Shavasana because we want to surrender. We want to let go completely. And although the classes in the morning sometimes feel that you don't need to rest because you just come from resting, it is always good to let that space happen. The space of Shavasana where you let go. Shavasana means corpse pose. And every time we come to the yoga mat, we have an opportunity of dying a little, but in a good way, letting go of things that we don't need anymore. And on this space of peace and tranquility, where you're letting go, put an intention for your practice. And have your arms resting by the sides of the body. If your hands are close to your hips, open them into a T position. Bend your knees and bring your feet close to your hips. And then open your knees sideways. So the soles of your feet are together and your knees are apart. And we are completely open. The arms are open, the legs are open, the hips are open. And start moving your knees towards the middle line and then crossing over. So you're rocking onto the feet, one leg at a time comes towards the other one. So it's almost like if you were doing a string wipe motion, but one leg moves towards the middle and the other one releases towards the side. That's it. Good. And then bring your right knee towards the ceiling. Your left leg is into this half Baddha Konasana, half bound ankle pose. And feel the foot onto the floor and just rock from your heel to the ball of your foot. And then bring your knee, your right knee, towards your belly and towards the side. So you're like twisting on your hip. And make a circle with that knee as if you were drawing a circle or a semicircle from your chest to your tailbone. And then change sides. If it's not clear, please sit up and look at what I'm doing. We're trying to open up the outside of the hips and at the same time, let the legs move. Let's see. Yeah, well done, everybody. You're doing it. That's it. Good. So we are bringing one knee in and then bringing it back and open, and the other one in and back and open. Good. So now from here, can you bring one knee in towards the chest and then bring the arm as well? So you're on the side. And then open the arm and let the knee continue the circle and change sides. So first the leg moves, then the arm moves, and the arm moves again, and then the leg finishes the circle. There is an absolute way of doing this. You might want to extend the leg. We are just articulating the ball and socket joints that are our arms, our shoulders, and our hips. Good. Now, coming to sitting so that you can see what we're going to do next. So for what I could see, some of you I cannot see because you're on the floor. For what I could see, you are doing it right. So I show you from this perspective. We start here and we were bringing it in and then opening the arm again, and then the leg comes back. So I want you to continue that movement. Then now we're going to bring arm and leg to one side and extend arm and leg. So from this side, you're in a recovery position, and then you extend arm and leg, your buttocks will tense, your arm will tense, and we're going to have 2 full breaths in there. And then release and open up and roll to the other side. And then we're going to extend arm and leg and release and bring it back to center. So use your creativity and roll around the floor. Hopefully your floor is not too cold. If you need to put a blanket or something, do that. That's allowed. Colette, you okay? Okay. So here we go. We bring the legs to one side, and then we extend for 1 breath, and 2, and then bring it back to center and roll to the other side. So when you're extending and holding, your hips are working, your back is working, and you're having a little back extension, so back bend, and change sides. Expand. That's it. By staying, you are toning the muscles. Good. And bring yourselves back to center. Hold from the inside of your feet. Rocking side to side. And shake your legs. Shake towards the sky. And shake your arms, doing your dead bag impersonation. That's it. Just rock your back, rock your hips. Let the whole body get a little massage. Then cross knee over knee. Lift your head and shoulders and bring your hands to holding onto your feet. This is a supine cow's face. So your legs are crossing one on top of the other, and you hold your feet from the outside. If you can't reach to your feet, you can hold from your shins or your ankles. And then if you can, release your head down and feel the stretch on both of the outsides of your hips. Now, if you want a little bit more, bring your toes and your fingers to interlace. Maybe just make a loop onto your big toe. Sorry if you're wearing socks. One more full breath, and then release, shake your legs, and we're going to go on the other side. So I'll show you from this perspective. We're crossing one knee over the other, knee over knee, and then we'll reach up and hold onto the feet. And if you can interlace your fingers and your toes, or maybe just hold around your big toe. And release, shake your legs. Good. Rock yourselves either to the side and come into seating, or rock backwards and forwards and come into seating. Bring your hands towards your heart and bow your heads. Namaste. That's the problem when we start lying down, we can't greet ourselves because we are facing upwards. But then we have the opportunity to come up and say namaste. Good. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to stand up in the moment, and so if you will need to take your socks off maybe. And then let your upper body just go side to side and coming forwards and back and forwards. Make it a big circle with the upper body. That's it. Yes, good. So in here, what you want to feel is the stretch in the sides of the body and the waist. Lovely. Inhale, bring your arms up. Look towards your hands. Exhale, opposite hand to knee, looking over your shoulder. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, opposite hand to knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, opposite hand to knee. Lock your hand, the top of your hand, onto the knee. And then bring the back arm around and across. So you're almost going on the same direction as the other knee. This is a deeper twist, an opening on your waist and your ribs. Inhale, bring it back to center, change sides. You will go deeper as long as you are pressing the hand so that you leverage in here. Your arm is straight, bring the hand behind, and then bring it over. And feel that side body opening up. That's it. Your gaze should go towards the ceiling in this one. One more deep breath. And exhale. Bring yourselves back to center. Roll over your ankles and come into all fours. Be mindful of your knees. If you need to, I have hard floor here, so I always like to have a bit of a cushion underneath my knees. We're going to activate the spine. So start by walking your hips side to side. And then you can make a circle with your hips. And change direction. Lovely. Good. Tag the toes under, push the hands onto the floor and bring the hips up and then release them down. So we are not going into full down dog yet. Bringing your weight over your hands and then bring it back towards your toes and bring your hips up and release down. Bringing your chest forwards. Feel the weight on your hands and bring it back. Bring it forwards and back. Good. And now come into a fall down dog and walk your dog. Pedaling your feet towards the floor, stretching the sides of the body. You can open your legs and your feet as wide as the mat if you want to try a different stretch. Or maybe bring them together. And bring yourselves back to center. Good. Come into all fours. And we're going to stretch the wrists a little bit. So the wrists, first of all, come on to sitting on your shins and rotate your wrists and your fingers. That's it. Especially if you are on the computer all the time, you can interlace your fingers and just make circles with both hands. This is a good thing to do often. Lovely. If sitting onto your shins is not available to you, if it feels too demanding on your knees, you can also have a block and sit with your hips a little bit higher. We're going to come into stretching the wrists. So we're going to come forwards. And first, bring your fingertips away from each other and your wrists facing each other. That's it. And just go side to side. And as you go side to side, you can also work with your spine a little bit. So if you bring one shoulder towards your ear and extend the ribs on one side, you will feel that stretch. And at the same time, you're changing the emphasis of pressure on your wrists. Good. And come back into sitting onto your shins and shake your hands. Oh, we have a cat visiting. Hello. She likes it because I have the fireplace on, so the warm room of the house. Good. Now we're going to do an even further stretch. We're going to turn the fingertips towards our knees. For that, I want you to be quite careful. So if you feel that, if you're sitting on your shins and you feel that when you stretch your fingers forwards, that's enough, then you stay there. If you feel that you have this strength and the flexibility, then you come to resting onto the heels of your hands and your fingers are pointing towards your knees. It is a very strong stretch, so please go carefully. And if you want, you can always mobilize your spine. When we're working with certain parts of the body, others might get stuck. So we can be aware of that. And release, shake. Maybe massage the inside of your forearm. We have one more. Stretch for the wrists. And in this one, you will not put your weight onto it. Stay onto your shins. You can have your block between your legs to give you a bit more lift. And we are just releasing. So the elbows are bent. We are releasing the wrists. If you can, make your fingers meet. Like if you were doing this. So the wrist is like this, and you bring your fingers towards each other. That's it. Lovely. Very good. And relax, release, shake. Very funny ways we bring our wrists, but as you know, and now she wants to go out. Ay, ay, ay. Cats, eh? As you know, in my classes, we always use our wrists quite a lot. So keeping the health of the wrists is very, very important. Good. So let's come into standing, please. If you have questions about your wrists, please do let me know or message me later. Wonderful. Shake your legs, shake your body. And I'm going to bring my mat out a little bit of a diagonal so that you can have better vision. Feel free whenever you're working at home to move your devices or to move your mat so that you have a better experience of seeing what's happening. Plus, being able to move. Shoulders by the sides of the body, release your knees, your hips are loose. Inhale, open your arms around and up. Expanding the chest, opening your arms, feel those wrists that are now alive. And then Join your hands and fold forwards. Shake your head, nod your head. Inhale, straighten the legs. Bring your hands onto your shins and flatten your back. Your belly's in, your shoulders are away from your ears. Feel the stretch on the back of the legs. Exhale, fingertips on the floor, and bring your right leg back into a low lunge. Rock onto your toes, and maybe extend the front leg as well, rocking forwards and back. And then release the back foot, locking the front knee, the left knee with the left elbow. Let the inner thigh get a bit of a stretch. Maybe bring your fingertips on your right hand forwards and push your hips back. In yoga, we have a lot of contradicting energies working. So one is pulling forwards, the other one is pulling back. Your feeling should be on the inner thigh. And bring yourselves back to center. Release the back knee, release the back foot. Right hand is on the floor. Left arm opens up into a twist. Breathe. And exhale, release your hand onto the floor. Bring the left leg back onto a supported plank. If you know that you have the strength and you want to do the full plank, then tuck your toes under and come into plank. Otherwise, relax your feet. Your belly is engaged. Open your shoulders away from each other. Inhale here, and as you exhale, lower down. Letting your belly rest onto the floor. Hands by the sides of your chest, shoulders back and down. Your abdomen is engaged. Inhale, come into cobra. Exhale, release down. Tuck your toes under. Come up into your downward facing dog. Breathe deeply. And look towards your hands. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and we're going to do some bunny jumps towards the hands. So keep your head up so that you don't overtake your hands. And just bunny hop. Bunny hop. Bunny hop. And come towards the front. Very good. Flatten your back. Exhale, fold forwards. Roll up into standing. Arms come around. Palms together. Samastitihi. And we're going to do the next. So, Anna, since you are the newest participant, do the jumps that you can. Caroline as well, you haven't been doing this for a while. So when we are jumping, I just want you to do two things. One, get more confident on your arms and strengthen your upper body. And the second thing I want you to do is to just get that motion of being light, being able to expand upwards. And you don't have to come very high. You can maybe do small jumps. When we are jumping, when we're doing this pounding against the floor, we are activating our lymphatic system. So maybe you just want to do this, and that's absolutely fine. Do what's right for you, and get confident. We stretch the wrists so that we can work with the arms a little bit more. Let's do the other leg. Feet hip distance. If you can't tell what your hip distance is, you have two ways of checking. One is by bending your knees and looking from when you're standing, if you can see your big toes, and your little toes should be covered by your knees. That's one way. The other way is to bring your heel to the arch of the foot, and where the ball of the foot is, that is exactly your hip distance, so that you're working within your anatomical dimensions. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. Exhale, fold forwards. Diving down, your knees are soft as you fall forwards. You bend from your hips. Inhale, straighten your legs, hands into your shins, flatten your back. Your gaze is down towards the floor. Exhale, hands by the sides of your feet, and bring your left leg back into a low lunge. And this is your chance to stretch your toes, stretch your legs, your hip flexors, rocking backwards and forwards. That's it, good. Feel the whole of your legs getting a nice workout. Now bring your right elbow to lock against your right knee. Turn around, lower the back foot onto the floor and just feel the stretch on your inner thigh. You can walk your hand a little bit forwards so that you are pulling the hips towards the right and your left hand comes forwards. Opposite energies working. And bring yourselves back to center. Release the back knee onto the floor. Left hand on the ground, right arm up. Twist towards your knee, opening your chest. That's it. Good. Let your hips go forwards. And release the hand to bring the leg back into a supported plank. As I said before, you can be on a full plank or with your shins on the floor, feet on the floor. Inhale, belly is engaged. And as you exhale, release down towards the floor. Push your hands onto the floor, shoulders back and down, elbows towards each other. And inhale, cobra. Exhale, release down. Tag your toes, downward facing dog. So last week we saw the transition between cobra and up dog and down dog. It is already on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out if you want to practice that. And keep the learnings that we have, keep them present so that you can apply the knowledge. Good, now is our time to jump. Either run or jump or jump into handstand and then jump towards your hands. Yes. Flat back. Exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. Release. Good. Shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your body. And we're going to add a little bit. So we're putting some inversions on our practice today. So I'm going to go slowly, but you do it with me. And if there are things that you're not sure, I will demonstrate different options that you can take. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. Exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, hands onto your shins and flatten your back. Exhale, hands by the sides of your feet. Bring your right leg back. Feel that side. Bring your left hand in front of your left foot. And this time, lower the back heel and bring the right arm up. This is a side stretch. If this is too low for you, if you feel that your back is arching forwards, then you can use a block underneath your hand to give you a bit more of an opening. Good. Look towards the floor and bring the right hand down. Lift the back heel from the floor. And we're going to lift the left arm, twisting towards the knee, but we are not resting the right knee on the ground. And release. Push the hands onto the floor, both legs back into plank. And bring the weight of your body over your wrists. Bend your elbows halfway down. Slide forwards. Up dog or cobra. Slide back, downward facing dog. And look towards your hands and release your right forearm onto the floor. Bring your left leg up and bend your left knee. Feel the strength on your right arm and shoulder. And release, change sides. Release the elbow, bring the leg up and open the hip. If your right hand wants to walk forwards, that's fine. The majority of your weight is on the left. And release, coming back to center. Coming to a child's pose. Have a little breath in here. Maybe you want to put your hands behind your hips. Maybe you want to stretch your arms. Or maybe roll onto your hips. So you can have your arms by the side. We are just having a rest. We are going to roll onto the crown of the head in a moment. So if you haven't got your hands interlaced behind your back, do it now. Interlace your fingers and your thumbs and push your hands away from your hips, stretching your shoulders. Your head is still on the floor. Now roll from your forehead onto the crown of the head. Bring your hips up and bringing your arms overhead. And then roll back. Twice more. Inhale, rolling forwards. Exhale, rolling back. One more, rolling forwards. And rolling back, release your hands, bring your fingertips by the sides of your knees and come into sitting onto your shins. Good. Roll the shoulders back and roll the shoulders forwards. I would like you to feel the crown of the head. When we were doing presential classes, we were always trying our inversions. So I don't want you to lose that capacity. Feel the crown of the head here. If you are not sure where the crown is, you bring your one hand just over your eyebrows and the other one next to it. And there, where I conveniently have a plait, is your crown of the head. Good. So that crown of the head is the point that goes on the floor. And I don't want you to go into a headstand. If you haven't done it before with me in person, you shouldn't go into a headstand. I just want you to feel that crown of the head on the floor. So we're going to bring the forearms onto the ground and measure the distance between your elbows with your forearms. Your hands come to the outside of the elbows, like this. Then you interlace your fingers and you give a little bit of room so that you're going to be hugging your head with both hands. The elbows should be close to each other, not very far apart. And please know that I don't need you to come into any headstand. I just want you to feel the head on the floor. You tuck your toes under and you bring your hips up towards the ceiling. That is all that I ask you to do today. Trying to have your back as straight as you can. Well done. Coming down when you need to come down. Good. So if you want to come down, I'll show you what the next step can be. Because you're at home, you can use a door or a wall or something just in case if you go over. We have been over the months and years building the upper body strength, but you always need to continue working on those muscles in order to work safely. So in your headstand, you will have your hands rubbing around your head. Your ears, the vertical part of your ears will be perpendicular to the floor. And you will find that if you want, you can just go la, 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 or any kind of sound. When you are in the right position, your voice is not free to go because your chin is towards your chest. Just listen to my voice. If I'm in the right position like this, my voice is strangulated a little bit. So then when I bring my hips up, my voice becomes clearer. Once your head and your hips are in the right position, your legs become light and you can come up into your headstand. And it is a stable position if you do it slowly. Never jump, neither up nor down. And whenever you come out of your headstand, you rest for a moment so that the blood can work its way. So if you want to just do the position of the head and I want to see what you're doing and then we'll continue. Anna, go back a little bit or turn around so that I can see you sideways if you don't mind. That's it. Katie, that's good. Tuck your toes and bring your hips up. Tuck your chin a little bit more, Anna. So the back of your neck should be really long. Asta, that's really good. Well done, Pia. Sarah, your head is not on the floor, it's on your hands. So please don't go up. The head should be on the floor. That's it. Good and very good. And Lisa, I can't see your head, but the position of your back looks okay. Lovely. And coming down. Good. Stay in child's pose for a moment. You don't have to go up. It's just a preparation and a conditioning of your skull. As you would have felt, it's not always comfortable. And that's because most likely than not, you will not often be on the crown of your head. Good. So now coming to a downward facing dog. Walk the dog, releasing your hips. And look towards your hands, lift your heels. We're going to jump towards the hands. Flat back, exhale, fold forwards, inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. One more of these flows and then we go on the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, your left leg comes back into a low lunge. And we're going to come into side stretch. You can have a block on the inside of your right foot or your right hand onto the floor. Release the back heel onto the ground and open up into your side stretch, trying to lower the hip. Look towards the floor. Release the left hand onto the floor. Lift the back heel and bring your right arm up. Lovely. And release. Bring the leg back into plank. Lower halfway, chaturanga. Slide forwards. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. So we're going to come back onto our forearms, but this time both forearms are on the floor. The hips stay up, belly is in. Look towards your thumbs and bring your nose beyond your thumbs and bring it back. Inhale forwards, exhale back. Inhale forwards and back. forwards and back. 2 more, we can do it. Last one. And extend your arms, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths in here. And then if you want, we're going to jump up or forwards or just run on the same place. Do whatever you feel like with a childlike mind. Very good. And jump towards your hands. Flat back. Exhale, fall forwards. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. Release. Shake your legs, shake your arms. Lovely. We're going to do the gentleman's sit or balance, in which we bring our ankle over our knee. If you find that your balance today is not super, hold yourselves from side of a chair or a wall or wherever. You can do that. What I want us to do is to release the hip. So cross the ankle over knee, bend the standing leg, bring your hands towards your heart, and lower your chest. So as you lower down, maybe you can bring your elbows onto the inside of your right knee and your right arch of the foot, or maybe not, or maybe you want to bring your hands towards the floor. Maybe you want to hug your shin and interlace your fingers underneath. Whichever version you do is absolutely fine. And inhale, bring yourselves back up. Release the leg. Very good. Shake, shake it, shake it, shake it. And we're going to do the other side. So remember that one side is never the same as the other. So feel your way around it. Your knee is not affected by the ankle. The ankle is just above the knee. Bring your hands towards your heart. And bend in the standing leg. We collect, hold from somewhere, hold from a chair. Bring your elbows towards the inside of your knee and the arch of the foot, or maybe wrap your arms around your shin, or maybe bring your hands towards the floor. Maybe come into a balance, unbalance. I like having fun. You don't have to do everything that I do. Coming up and release. Shake it, shake it. And we're going to come onto the ground through a Hindi squat. Open your legs a little bit wider than your shoulder distance. And then bring your hands together, bring your elbows against your knees. And your hips are down. So sometimes if your heels cannot go all the way towards the floor, you can fold your mat. And that will give you more of a upright position on your back. It's a nice way of releasing your lower back. Check that your neck is free to move. And then release down. Good. Folding your mat to sit over it, to keep your back straighter, is a really good tool. You can also have a blanket. So when you're sitting on the floor, your back should be on the normal, preserving the normal curvature of the spine. So we're going to, if you have a block, we're going to rest our forehead on the block. Or if you are very flexible and you want a little bit more, you can bring the block behind your feet. If you have a belt, you can also use your belt or a scarf just to wrap around the balls of the feet. That's it. So whatever version you're doing, first expand your back and then reach like towards the angle of the room and forwards. When you find the utmost level of stretch that you can have, then you can curve your spine and rest. We're going to have 5 deep breaths in this forward fold, Paschimottanasana, head to knee. Breathe. And inhale, really slowly, lift your head, bring your arms up. And release your fingertips behind you. Open your chest, point your toes. Shake your head. And release. Good. So the block can be nearby. We're going to do either half cow's face or full cow's face. When we were lying on the floor at the beginning of the class and we held the feet like this, that is supine cow's face. The full cow's face, sits it up, is with knee over knee. So we're going to, don't worry, we're doing it step by step. Bring your legs forwards and bring your right leg over your left. The sole of the foot is standing upwards so that the leg has a rotation and the knee can be over the knee. Inhale, open your chest, and as you exhale, just fold forwards. You can have a block to lean your hand onto or underneath your foot, or just hold onto your ankle. And feel the extended leg and the knee that is bent. And then bring your chest up. Good. This might be plenty. You'll know if it's plenty, for instance, if your knee is very high up, that might be all that you want to do is to have the leg outstretched. If you find that that was quite nice and you want to try and bring the other leg underneath, then bring the left leg under the right. Both legs are outside your hips. I am sitting on a blanket to give my hips a little bit more elevation and to have a better position for my spine. If you are in a full cow's face, you can hold onto your feet and then lean forwards. You don't need to arch straight away. Just lean as if you were trying to reach your abdomen towards your thighs. And then when you find that softening of the hips and the back, you can bring yourself all the way. Inhale, bring yourselves up. Gently uncross your legs. Shake your legs. Massage anything that needs to be massaged. And we're going to go the other way. So the right leg is now outstretched, and bring the left knee, knee over knee. The left foot is standing upwards. The sole of the foot sort of looking towards the back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Remember, you can use your blocks to lean onto. Bring it behind. Where there is resistance, we want to bring softness. We want to bring ease, and we want to breathe into this area. Caroline, I hope you're okay. No, she's gone. One more breath in here. And inhale, walk your hands back towards you. You can repeat the same forward fold, or you can try bringing your leg to the side. So if you find that maybe the knee is not liking it, you can have a block underneath. So it won't go too far down, and you still will get the stretch on the hips. Inhale, open your chest, and as you exhale, lean forwards. This is something we learn on the yin yoga classes. You know, on Thursdays I have a yin yang class. So the first half is active, the second half is more a yin class. And we learn that by sometimes bringing the floor up, you can find a new place to stretch and a new way of exercising that maybe you were stuck with another one that wasn't serving you. One more breath in here. And inhale, bring yourselves up. Uncross your legs and sway your knees side to side. And maybe as we were doing at the beginning, you can bring the legs around, giving freedom to your hips and your legs. And take your blanket, put your socks, and then roll down for your Shavasana. Rolling down, letting your arms rest, letting your legs rest. And here we have our second Shavasana. We started with Shavasana, we finished with Shavasana. And what are we letting go of now? What is this little death that we're dying? Our skin cells change. We change, our whole body changes every 7 years. And every time we come to the mat, we have the opportunity to change, to rejuvenate. Focus on your breath. Maybe today you did things that you didn't think you could do. And give yourself a little smile. So nice to do new things, to try where we can reach, what can we do, how can we be a better version of the perfection that we already are. And we are coming towards the end of our practice. This was a super short Shavasana, so as you are at home, if you wanted to stay lying down, just stay lying down. If you wanted to come up into sitting to do the Oms and Shantis with me, you're invited. Whichever way you do it, just make sure you have a little stretch and you bring yourselves into And a position where your spine is aligned and your neck is long. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale to begin the arms. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Bring your palms together. Rub your palms. Make the movements a little faster, generating prana between your hands. And bring your palms over your face. Inhale deeply. Open your eyes to the darkness of your hands. Slide your hands to your chest and bow your heads. Namaste. Give yourselves a clap. Well done, well done.
Thank you, Jenny. That was really good.